All right, without further ado, here's a little game of head and shoulders, just to give you some context for how the head, neck, and shoulders are working together or if they're not playing together so nicely. So the first thing we're going to do is just take a look at your head and neck. So take a deep breath in, exhale from your chin to your chest. Try and keep your teeth together, not crushing them. And see how that feels on the back of the neck. And then same thing up overhead. Just looking for anything that's really tight or limiting. And the same thing over to the left and bring your chin down. And then back over to the right. And then down. Can you do this, or does the opposite side have to lift up? My left side's obviously a little tighter. Next thing we're going to work on are your shoulder blades and see how they're moving. So an easy way to test your shoulder blades is shrug them up, squeeze them back, and roll them down. So from the side, we're going to shrug your shoulder blades up, squeeze them back, and roll them down. How's that feel? And then we'll go the other way where we squeeze back, lift them up, and roll them around. Just looking for that motion to see if anything grabs or catches. So if that's all moving pretty well and there's no obvious shots of pain, we can try and touch your hands over your head and behind your back. So this is the back scratch test. So with one hand, can you get your hand in behind and kind of scratch your back? Or does it get stuck? Same thing the other side. So trying to reach around behind, and can you scratch your back? Can you lift your hand away at the same time? So just in behind and then lift it away. If any of these motions cause pain, we got to dig in a little further. So from there, if we can do that, okay, we're going to try that overhead and run the back scratch. Can we pull off one side and the other side? And if you've got someone around, they can measure that distance and just see where it is. They'll give you some cue of your overall flexibility. And if that's really hard, and we want to see how the ribs are moving with it, we'll try the same drill. This time you're going to put your hands out together. Inhale. Exhale, and see if it feels any easier when you breathe specifically through. That'll tell us about your rib cage and how that's functioning with your diaphragm and your shoulder blades. So those are our really brief, simple assessments. If any of those cause pain, then it's worth digging a bit further for sure. If they're generally pain-free, but things are just a little sticky, we'll go through and try some isometric strength drills. And they're the easiest things to practice. So what you're going to do is find a bit of a wall space. And think of that old school kind of extra rotation drill. We're just going to test out your strength at a couple different angles. So if we're right on the wall, you're going to take your arm, set your shoulder blade back and down so it feels pretty anchored. And just try and push into the wall. About 5-10 seconds, with about 50% of your strength. And that feels good. Rotate around about 15 degrees. And same thing, pushing in 5-10 seconds and rotate a bit more. 50% of your strength, 5-10 seconds into the wall. And same thing. We're going to see how far you can get on one side versus the other side. This is a good strength assessment and a physical assessment. So we're doing that from your elbow, your side. And then we'll try the same thing with your elbow up a little higher. So assuming I've done that side low, we'll get up and we'll try about a 45-degree angle. So now in the same process of trying to push that hand into the wall, you'll feel your core muscles work. If that feels pretty good, we'll twist away a little bit more. Try to push into the wall with your knuckle and your elbow. And I'm just seeing how those shoulder blade muscles work. And at some point, if it feels like your shoulder has to shrug up to do that movement, then we know it's some of those shoulder stabilizers that aren't working so nicely. So we got 50%, 5-second contraction starting low, and then about 45 degrees up, and then we can go all the way up, and we can use a door jam or whatever we want for this, but same kind of idea. We're gonna try to push in. We're gonna start in close, and about 15 degrees, each low position. How far can we get? And this is not only a good little assessment, but it's a good little warm-up and strength test as well. So give those a shot. If any of those provoke pain or discomfort, let me know, and we can dig in from there. But I hope that gives you some context. I forgot my camera's down here. Enjoy.